Well, this next segment couldn't come at a better time when we look at the world economy right now, and really we all should be doing it. Never mind just teaching our kids. I think it's funny that we're going to be teaching kids about money today. After we teach them, they could probably teach us a lesson or two as well.
I hope they can teach AIG.
And AIG. We are joined by Brent Dobson from Moonjar Canada. Brent, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Thanks
Give us a little backstory on the Moonjar. How did it all get started?
Well, the Moonjar was started by a Seattle native named Eulalie Scanduzzi, and she was raised on a Rockefeller story, which was in the Rockefeller house, their allowance was allocated to three things, and they had three jars in their house. One was for spending, one was for saving, and one was for giving or for charity. So Eulalie in 2001 started the Moonjar Company, and she created the Moonjar Money Box, which is a teaching bank to help teach kids something about money.
Okay, and so we have it here,
yeah,
right? This is the idea, essentially. Do you want to go through the different ideas?
Sure. It's a very simple concept. You have three tin jars. They separate, and there's the spending jar, the saving jar, and the sharing jar. And really, when kids see this and they get an allowance or they have some money, they learn on their own what money can be used for. And I think that's a very good starting point to teach kids financial literacy, is that there are choices with our money.
Right.
There's not one choice, which is spend it at the dollar store.
Yeah.
There are three choices, and each are as important as the other.
Now, is it up to the parent or the educator to stress what all these different ones are before the child starts, putting the money into them?
That's a good question. I think all parents, and myself as a parent, you have to weigh the pros and cons of telling your kids what to do with their money and allowing them to learn on their own. And what's beautiful about the Moonjar is that visually it's a fun product. Kids get it right away. They remember what the green, the blue, and the red is for. And they can decide on their own how they want to split their allowance or their birthday money.
I was going to ask that next, actually. Is the idea to sort of 1 week it's something, the other week, or should you be
You just give them the money and they go.
It's their choice,
I think it's a parent's choice. We have some recommendations that we include in a allowance guide. I think as long as the child is happy with how it's split and they understand the three places where their money can be put, I think that's the important lesson.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of us put 10% into charity giving. That's kind of the traditional amount a lot of us were raised on in our household. Some people it's much higher. Some people prefer, think of your household expenses. It's probably 50% or more of our income, and maybe today it's 80% of our income.
Right.
So sometimes we might want to put a higher amount in our spend section. On the other hand, if we want to teach our kids the value of saving and investing and thinking about what's important to them and dreaming about big things, then we want to encourage them to put more in the saving. And they really, over time, they'll really visualize their savings are going up and their dreams are getting closer to reality.
I'm glad you're using terms like encourage and teach and what have you, because if you just told them this is what you should do, well then it's not really,
they're not learning.
You're just doing what mom and dad say, and then it doesn't become part of them and part of their choice to give to charity. Am I right?
Let's talk about some of the other things you've brought along here too, because you've brought along what I guess I would call conversation tools for parents and children. Explain these to us.
So these are games called Conversation to Go, and the foundation of the company Moonjar is to keep the conversation primarily about money open, because money is a hard topic to discuss with your children.
Right.
I mean, I was raised in a family where we didn't talk about money at the dinner table very often. It was some people it was a taboo subject. So the idea behind thing is to keep the conversation open with your family. A few years ago, they created this new product, which is called Conversations to Go, and essentially it's a list of questions on a variety of subjects that really just generates conversation with your kids in a non-judgmental way.
Right.
They're great supper table activities. It's great for the car, and it's really just to open up conversations with your family.
Okay, and are these some of the
I think so.
Examples right here? Now yellow goes with yellow, green goes with green, blue.
Sure.
Okay, is that the idea?
Yep.
Okay, so here's a green one. How much is too much? Good question.
That's a tough one for me to answer. Never mind my 4-year-old.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that there's no wrong answers here. It's just to stimulate discussion.
That's right. There's no wrong answers, and young kids and older kids and adults can have different opinions on things, and that's what's important.
Right.
What do you want more of in your life? Besides money. That's cute, eh? That's what it is. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Very good. You've also brought along a couple of books here. What are these?
So the books, the Newman Raj Start a Business is basically an ABC book about teaching kids about starting a business. It's got definitions, through the ABC, the alphabet, budgeting, debt, cost, savings, and terms like that. And it's about these two characters who start a lemonade stand. and it teaches
Okay.
young children about starting a business and what they can do with their profits, the importance of sharing with their community and things like that.
What a great
Now,
idea.
these are all, you're talking about families and parents and what have you, but what about the teachers?
Yeah, so
Yeah, is this in schools?
what we
This
try
is
to do
great.
is,
Yeah.
the company was started to basically promote financial literacy and youth philanthropy, so giving and sharing. And we partner with a variety of people. We partner with retailers, so toy stores, for example, Tag Along Toys, who's coming on later, carries
Yeah.
our products. We also partner with educators in schools. They often use the Moonjar as fundraisers. There's a paper version of the Moonjar that's at a price point that's much easier for schools to buy.
Right.
We partner with credit unions and banks and financial institutions because they're really interested about promoting financial literacy.
Yeah.
And we also do a lot of work with nonprofits because nonprofits are really interested in the sharing aspect. And they like to encourage young people to give to their charities and to do this on an ongoing basis, not just when there's a tsunami or just when there's a
I
global
think you should
crisis.
send some to AIG. Yeah.
Brent, thank you very much. These are great products. Really appreciate you
Thanks
coming.